The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Mugo. Today on the show we are talking about after Form 4. What next? Are you ready for the campus? What is the society expecting from you? The parents, your teachers, your neighbors. What are they expecting from you? What are you expecting for yourself as well? Do you know what you want to do in campus? Do you know what next for yourself? Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. I'm not alone. I have guests with me who are going to help us to understand better on matters to do after Form 4. What next? I will allow them to introduce themselves. Welcome guests, starting with you.
Okay, hello viewers. My name is Mushoki Maina from Murang'a County, Kihara Constituency, Gaturi Ward.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Mushoki.
Thank you.
And to you, madam.
My name is Salome Tera, the County Director, Adult and Continuing Education, Nairobi County.
Welcome to the show, Madam Salome.
Thank
and
you.
To you, sir.
My name is Benjamin Mutoka. I'm a mind education specialist.
Welcome to the show. Welcome and thank you for honoring our invitation. So today as we talk about after Form 4, what's next? The results were just released the other day and a lot of things has happened in between. We've had a school that was protesting of not being accorded their correct grades. That's among the things that we are going to look at. And today with Mr. Mushoki here is a student, like he has mentioned, who went back to school after 23 years and managed to get a C+. Yes. I would want to know what prompted you to go back to school after 23 years. I believe being a family man, having children, having a lot of people looking up to you, the day you decided, now I'm going back to school. What prompted you to go back to school after such a long time?
Okay, thank you very much. That's a good question. From beginning, I wanted to become a teacher, and I also wanted to become a writer or an author. So actually, I did my KCPE 23 years ago, as you have said, it is a primary school, and I scored 350. But unfortunately, I could not join Form 1 at the correct time due to the lack of school fees. Down the line, after 7 years again, I got a chance and I joined Form 1. That is why I started my schooling. Again, I went up to Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. Then again, I got an eyesight problem. Then I dropped again. After 7 years again, I booked my KCP again, year 2015, at the adult education, that is Kiambu County. Then I managed to score 303. Luckily enough, I get a sponsorship who took me to Form 1 at Kikuyu Boys High School, still in Kiambu County, in Lemuru. Then there I started schooling like other students. I was just 33 years old. I was welcomed happily by the school principals and the teacher. So I was happy and I was comfortable there, learning with other students, and they were happy because I was acting like a good role model and also an example to them. So as I have said, I want to become a teacher and also an author because I have a creativity and I love writing. Then I discovered that you cannot be a good author if you don't have a good English and also Kiswahili. Actually, that is why I went back. And a second thing, during those 7 years, I was working in the University of Nairobi as a gardener. And when I was working there, I could saw some lecturer teaching there. And I was saying, wow, I wanted to become a teacher one time. So I was admiring them as they were teaching. So there is this scenario that we were sacked one day because we had no papers. So that specific reason now motivated me. I decided now let me go back to class again. I just went and booked an exam, and I did my exam. Yeah.
Very interesting and inspiring story because in the generation that we are in, like we were discussing before behind the scenes, that education is very key and vital. But you realize the students who are currently in school do not value it. Even as for us who were in school at that particular time, we never used to value that time, or the saying that goes that education is key. And we have a lot of people who go by saying grade is not the ultimate, but rather what you want to do, pursuing what you want. Because if you get to, the papers do help, yes, but again, there is something beyond the grade. Coming to you, Madam Salome, as the head of the education and the continued education, dealing with students, normal students, and also those who are continuing like Mr. Mushoki, what do you tell your students, or what do you look into? Because now I've identified that I really need the papers. And someone else will also say, I'd rather go study for the exact thing I want than just basically papers. I'm not here for the papers, I'm here for the skills. We have people who say something like that. What do you talk or look for when you're dealing with students?
Actually, it's not what do we look for when dealing with students. It is what does the learner want. And the bit about adult education, when you see a learner come back to school or to the center to learn, there is a reason. There is a motivating factor. As you heard from Mushoki, he was once sacked because he did not have papers. When you're mature, you look for what you don't have, and you have priorities set right. But when you're still young, like the way you're saying, the students in school are saying it's a punishment to be there. There is a time for everything. And that is why from the word go, if your child reaches, in the old system, let us say standard 5, and they know themselves, they know that they are studying for their life, they will go, you'll not have any problem. But if the moment a child feels that anakuendea shule, then you have a problem. The same thing as an adult, if Mushoki felt that he is going to school for the family or for somebody else, he would not perform the way he performed. But we look at what does this learner want. This learner is interested in skills. How best do we assist him to get the skills he wants? The papers are also key, because in Kenya you cannot work anywhere unless you have Kiswahili and English for communication. So you will get the basic education. We'll give you the basic education that will help you now move to the next level to get the skills. If Mushoki was like he wants to do KCSE so that he gets the papers to become a teacher as he wants, what are the requirements of becoming a teacher? You must have a certain grade in your KCSE. Then you go and become a teacher. If he wanted to be a groundsman, he would finish at class 8, and we have courses that will help him better his skills in excuse me, better his skills in English and Kiswahili. Then we link him to any agricultural place so that they show him this how you do the flowers, this how you do the ground, and all that. So it depends on what does this learner want. In adult education, it's not what the teacher wants, but what the learner wants. Thank you.
That is where now we draw the difference between a normal school and the adult education. Because even the other time that we interacted, I'm trying to look. In a normal school, we barely gave the student the opportunity to talk or to state what they want. They have to just abide by the rules and the curriculums and everything. The other time you made me understand that also the timetable and the time slot for these students, the adult education, they get to choose for themselves the available time that they do have. Why can't we have the same also for the young students?
It would be a bit tricky, because if you look at the young students, let us take a child in in grade 1 up to grade 6. Does this person know how to manage their time? Do they know what they really want, or it's us who wants this for them?
What about in high school?
In high school, even if they're in high school, some students get into high school just because the marks have taken them there. And some of them, it's like they reach there to discover themselves very well, knowing that from primary, they have just been going through. I'm studying to pass exams in KCPE. Now I have passed, I've landed in secondary. That's when you meet now the science, the general science you are doing in primary. There is physics, there is chemistry, there is biology. And then you're like, now what do I need to do in future? So by the time this student is reaching Form 3 is when this student is discovering that I would like to do this. And number 2, if you look at the time in secondary, it is so managed to the point that it doesn't allow this student, the teachers are rushing through the curriculum. We want to finish. But if everybody, every child was given chance that you've not understood, that you're not going to take this course for 4 years, let those who can take Form 1 to Form 4 within 4 years and have understood and can score the grades they want, let them move. But if I'm made to understand that I can do this at my own pace, I can carry maybe 4 subjects, do an exam, and then come and again do maybe another 2 subjects and do an exam, you would see even much better grades. And that is why an adult, when they come, if you ask Mushoki, he has a family, he had some work to do, he has his children that have to study. And Mushoki has to divide his time. So he knows when I sit down to read that 1 hour, it is that 1 hour that I have to read. If you look at his son, he is like, I can read, I can sleep, I'll eat, and the teacher will not ask for the homework until 10. So you'll even find Mushoki has done his assignment, but the son starts doing his assignment at around 9:30 when he remembers that the teacher will come and ask for the assignment. If he doesn't give, he'll be caned. So are you seeing where the difference is? So even in secondary, our children, our Kenyan children are not mature enough at Form 1 to know. There are very few who have come maybe from schools where they were being given motivational talks, they have been taken to tours, they have been given a different type of treatment. But that one who is coming from Lokichogyo inside a bush where they even study under a tree, just sees a doctor coming and does not even know that this is the doctor. How do I become a doctor? To discover that how to become a doctor, you have to go through this. It takes longer. Thank you.
Before I get to you, Mr. Benjamin, maybe coming to you, Mr. Mushoki.
Yes.
Like you said, you wanted to be a writer and a teacher.
Yeah.
Are you planning now, moving forward, to follow the same?
Okay, thank you. In fact, I'm planning to go further because I believe a dream never dies. Because I remember when I was in class 8, I was writing a very good compositions, and my principal would read them all around at the parade. So this motivated me. Now outside there, when I was outside there, my dream was growing bigger and bigger. In fact, I'll stop reading when I die because I'm aiming for PhD level. Because I feel if I got the education at the time, I could do better. Now I feel that I have a bigger responsibility, not only for the family and also for the society. I remember in 2012, I formed a group, acting group and a writing group, and I was the chairperson. So unfortunately, I had no enough education. So what I could not move further or like lead my team well, because I felt that there is something lacking in my team. So those who had education, they copy pasted my ideas, and they went on and they moved forward. So I think that I am moving further and further. That is my plan. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Maybe
coming
just to interject.
Yes, please.
You see, an adult learner will only look for what he desires or she desires. It's to solve a problem. It's not like a formal school student. This one went to solve a problem, and that's why he has a dream. He has to follow and solve that problem. Thank you.
On that note, as you also get to Mr. Benjamin, I remember some time back, I had heard of a similar case as Mr. Mushoki. Actually, our security person went back to school. So during the day, he's in school, classes, but part-time in a normal school, but could agree with the principal to go partially because he has to look for the fees for himself and for his children. And now, after that, he managed a B+. I don't know why he went to school, particularly. I'd never got, at that time I was very young, I never got to interact with him. The only thing I knew, our security person has gone back to school. And he could come to borrow books from our home.
To
And
solve
my-
a problem.
Yes. So at night, thinking he's manning, yes, but what does a security person do? It's only manning and making sure. So he'll go with the patrol around the compound, then go back to the position. Because the security lights are on, he would go under the lights, study, do homework, do everything. In the morning before he leaves, there is somewhere they had agreed, put the books there. If he has to carry to school, he'll carry whatever. Got a B+, but after that, I could see him also struggling to find a job. I don't know, like I mentioned, I don't know why exactly he went back to school. For him, he has a dream and he wants to pursue it. But for him, I don't know.
He has a dream and he'll get it
Wow.
at his own time.
Interesting. I like the way Salome always talk, knowing that the confidence in Salome always is like at his own time. Because he's an adult, he gets to choose what they want. Coming to you, Mr. Benjamin, what is your take in all this?
I want to talk about something different. And I'll talk about everything in regards to mind education,
Sure.
which is all concerned about the world of the heart. In mind education, we are based on 3 major things. And one of them is critical thinking. Number 2, formation of a strong heart. And then number 3, we have change through exchange. Because for you to change, you have to exchange. I want to appreciate the effort that Mushoki is doing in that he went back to school and he's focused, he knows what he's doing, what he really wants. But I want to talk about the world of the heart which is unseen. It's a world that you cannot tell. And that's why what Mushoki is thinking, not unless he speaks to you, you cannot tell what he really wants. And that is the world of the heart, which is unseen. And it's in every man. One of the things that I know about the world of the heart is that it is based on spiritual foundation. Depending on what you put in your heart or what is inserted in your heart, the fruit will come out. Because the heart was created like a vessel. So whatever you put in that vessel, it's the same way. You know, before we used to play, what do we call them? Cassettes, radio cassettes and tapes. You don't expect you to go with a USB cable and then it has a movie, but you are expecting to watch football. It's very funny, eh? So what is inside is what will come out. And that's why one time, if I have to talk about the Bible, just a little bit, Jesus spoke to the people and then he said, it's not what comes out and enters the man, defiles the man. But a man is defiled by what comes out of him. So which means, in that world of the heart, what is contained in your heart will come out. If it was this cup and then it has water, it is a cup of water. If it is this cup and then it has tea, it's a cup of tea. So, you know, when we talk about the world of the heart, one thing that we should know is that the heart is deceitful. And the Bible says it's deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Then the Bible is asking a question, who can know it? Then the Bible says, I, the Lord, search the heart. You know, when God looks at man, he's not looking at Mushoki as the way we see Mushoki. For us, we are accustomed to one thing, and it is biblical. We only see things as what we see, the outward appearance. But God is only looking in the heart of man. So depending on what is in the heart of that man, God will he will manifest himself. Now, let's talk about the heart, because that heart, it is so special and precious. But what would happen if I had a very good phone, but I don't know how to operate that phone? What would happen if you had a very good car, a Mercedes, let's say, which Mercedes is good?
A500.
S-Class, S-Class, S-Class. Now we have 530 or 500. It's a very good one. Anyway, it's a very good car. What if you have that very good car, a very good functioning car, the functions are very good, but you don't know how to use? Of what use will that car be? It's only parked in the garage. But now, we have a very special heart, but we don't know how to use that heart. That's why we need to go back to the blueprint. And the blueprint, like actually everything that you see in this world as a blueprint, or that mere drawing on paper. Because the person who wanted to make this cup, they sat down and they wrote somewhere, this is how we want to make that cup to be. The people who manufactured our phones, they had a blueprint of what they really want to do. The person who made that TV, they had a blueprint and they knew what exactly they wanted to do and what to fix where. Now, the heart of man is so special, but people do not know how to use that heart because they do not know the blueprint. But the blueprint is the Bible. When we talk about the blueprint of of the heart of man, let's talk about the emotions, which is one function of the heart. It is so scary to live with a person who only lives according to their emotions and feelings. They react everything according to their emotions. They do everything according to their feelings. It is so scary to live with such a person. That's why now people, to come out of that, they go to school so that they may get to the second emotion, the second function of that, which is reasoning. And this reasoning, we cannot get reasoning from any other place. We get that kind of reasoning from books, which means from school. That's why when we get to school in class 1, there is little that we knew. And you couldn't complain, even I know Madam Salomo would say so, when the teacher was now teaching you how to write number 1, and I think at my time we were not writing in books, we were writing kwa mchanga, umetengenezewa kwa mchanga, and then you write number 1, and then the teacher is holding your finger so that you may write number 1. Yes, it looked like so, when you look at it now, it looks so foolish, but I couldn't complain because I knew nothing. When I finished class 8, even a class 8 student or pupil and a class 1, they don't reason the same. Which means that part of reasoning comes from education.
Allow me to interrupt you as you also go for a break. What you've mentioned, that a class 8 student cannot reason the same with a class 1. Someone said, correct me, I stand to be corrected if I'm wrong. Someone said that we are born knowing everything. It's only a matter of time and age that this comes to pass. That it's not that how you're putting it, that you have to go to school, you have to be taught A, B, C, D. You have to practically learn it from school. It is within us. It's only with time that you come to learn this, and age that you come to. You're already born knowing everything. It's only a matter of time. That's most of the things you're not taught because simply because in school, but rather, it's in us. It's only being, how do I put it, being brought out to manifest. Is it true?
I'll talk about 2 things here, as you mentioned.
Yes or no? So we go on a break.
I wouldn't say yes or no, but I need to explain about that.
All right, you'll explain it after the break. Viewer, I hope you're learning and getting a thing or two. Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll take a short break.